Hello wonderful friends, it's Evelyn here, coming to you from my beautiful little rose garden. As you can see here, it is in full bloom, and actually this is the second lot of blooms that I'm getting because I've actually pruned back quite a lot of my roses because sadly they were suffering from black spot because it's been very wet weather here in the Scottish Highlands. Oh look, there's my lovely fairy. But they are really blooming beautifully. Yes, my friends, it's that time of year, the time of year when I create a birthday creation. And I have the most stunning fabric from my wonderful friends at Minerva to do just that. But I definitely had to show you these stunning flowers. But without further ado, come on friends, let's get creating. Now for this latest trip around the sun, my friends, I have decided to shock horror, be kind to myself and take my time with this creation. So this week is the first week of doing just that. So for this year's design, my friends, I have gone with the most stunning fabric. Yes, the fabric inspired this design. It's going to be a dress inspired by someone that has been inspiring me quite a lot recently and has been coming up on quite a few of my meditations, the Lady of the Lake. And I am going to celebrate her in my most favourite colour, blue. Yes, are you seeing a pattern develop, my friends? Because actually, most of my birthday creations right here on the channel have been blue. And this one, well, as you can see, it's no exception. I am going to create the most stunning dress inspired by the Lady of the Lake. But check out this design, my friends. This is actually two separate pieces. The bodice is actually a leotard, and then the separate flowing skirt. Recently I have been loving creating and wearing separates. I just find them so much more wearable, and yes, having separates also makes my wardrobe much more versatile. The bodice of this leotard will be a gentle sloping v-neck, and instead of bust and waist darts, there will be gathers at the waistline, which will join the bodice to the panty of the leotard. There will also be, yes, you've guessed it, bishop sleeves, my favourite sleeve of all time, and these bishop sleeves will be in a gorgeous blue power mesh. And a floaty maxi length gathered waist skirt will complete this birthday ensemble. So without further ado, my friends, let's get talking about this gorgeous fabric. And here comes that stunning fabric, my friends, from my wonderful friends at Minerva. This is a Minerva exclusive ombre gradient Eco Vero viscose challis in the colourway Vapor Trail. And my friends, it's just stunning. It goes from the most stunning pale aqua sky blue through to an indigo. And this lightweight fabric is so incredibly soft and drapey that it's just perfect for this Lady of the Lake inspired project. Now, my friends, the ombre effect does go across the width of the fabric rather than the length. So that's how I'm going to be cutting my panels for my skirt. Believe you me, my friends, I was so excited to get my hands on this stunning fabric, and I cannot wait to create it into the most stunning ensemble for this year's birthday creation. So without further ado, friends, come on, let's get to pattern drafting. Now, my friends, it's a super easy pattern draft this week, beginning by tracing that bodice block. And if you haven't created one to your own measurements yet, friends, yes, you guessed it, there's a card above and a link in the description box to a tutorial to do just that. I began by tracing a copy of the bodice front, before plotting on the apex point, allowing me to cut up those dart legs to create a hinge to push that fullness from the bust dart into the waist dart. This will allow me to create those gathers at the waistline. And here is the pattern coming together. All that's left was to create that sloping neckline. And for the pants portion of the leotard, well friends, I cheated. I grabbed my favourite pair of high-waisted panties and literally traced around them to create a really simple pattern. Bodice pieces all cut out, it was time to get to some sewing, beginning with the shoulders and side seams. Also sewing some long length straight stitches all along that waistline to enable me to create those gathers. After that small bit of sewing, I've grabbed the faithful Betty and I've pulled on those gathering stitches to pop that bodice onto her, and it looks like this. It's definitely the vibe that I'm going for. I definitely need another set of gathering stitches a little bit higher on the bodice. I need to realise as well that although this does look a bit on the larger side, I am going to fully line this, which means that less of the ease will actually end up on the final garment because that fully lined bodice will take up some of that excess. So actually I think I'm feeling quite good about this. I love the fabric. The blue is just absolutely stunning, and I do want it to be a bit more drapey rather than seriously sort of fitted, hence the gathers rather than bust darts. So yeah, I'm thinking this is working quite well. And then another factor as well, Betty isn't as long-waisted as I am, so actually, although I've pinned it to Betty's effective waist, my waist is lower, so actually a lot of this sort of fullness won't actually appear on my body because I'm longer waisted. So I think I'm quite happy with that. To be honest, this is going to be a pretty quick dress to actually put together. The time for this creation is going to be in this sort of design and pattern drafting and sort of working out how to bring it from the page onto a person, basically. So I'm really liking this, and I also like the fact that I've gone for a two-piece because I feel like this is going to be much more wearable because I'll definitely wear them as separates as well. I'm really loving creating and wearing separates at the moment. It seems to be sort of what I'm enjoying creating and wearing at the moment. So I'm really excited about this, friends. Well, friends, the designing has done, the fabrics have been chosen, and the first bodice layer has been constructed, and I'm quite happy with it. So, design, main fabric, and I've also grabbed this shade of Power Mesh, which I think goes perfectly with all the colours of the ombre viscose challis. So stick around, my friends, because next week I'll be finishing this birthday Lady of the Lake inspired creation, and it will be time for that reveal. But until next time, yes, you can probably hear those little feet. It's time for me to take my girls on a wander. Take care, my friends, and stay safe. And I'll see you next week for that reveal. Bye, friends. Hey, Lyra. Lyra. Hey. Hi, sweetie. Hello. Hi. Hi, Luna. Oh, kisses. Thank you so much. Kisses. Love my girls. Yeah, such good girls, honey. Yes, you are. Yeah. It's Lyra standing by Betty. Oh, big shake.